So, how am I working with investors to build a portfolio in South Wales while I live in Austria? Now, I'm currently in Austria now. I was in London last week and I'm going to Germany next week and then back to Austria. And what I'm doing is I'm working with as many investors as possible who want to make money in property or make money through property whilst working with us. So how does this work? How am I doing it? And what's the goal? So just to start off, a bit of context. Obviously, I live in South Wales in the UK normally, and I love traveling. I love the idea of working from anywhere. And when I say working, I mean building a portfolio whilst working with other people to build their portfolio alongside what I do. And the beauty is that with property, typically, depending on variables, you can work with anyone from anywhere. And that's what I really love about it. So I do a lot of networking in the UK, in general, London, South Wales, North, South, etc. I do a lot of social media, and my girlfriend's currently in Austria right now, which is obviously where we're staying for the next couple of weeks. And Austria is next to Germany, so I can travel between Austria, Germany. We're going to Italy tomorrow as well, but that's more of an activity sort of thing. But with Europe being so open and obviously after COVID being so accessible, it really helps me work with as many people as possible. So what is the actual goal here? So the goal is to build my portfolio. That's my selfish, blunt way of putting this. And it's to help people do the same thing alongside what we do. So in South Wales now, we've got a sourcing company where over the past 3 to 5 years, we've built a great relationship with our builders, solicitors, brokers, so mortgage brokers, and just every team that's needed to build a successful portfolio. And we've got that in South Wales. So I live in Chepstow in South Wales, and the whole team is within 1 hour of us, and all of our projects are in South Wales in the valleys areas. And we've got a system there where when people come out to us with X amount of money, we can help them build a portfolio because we've got the team there. But what we're transitioning now, or have done for the past year, is transition into building our own portfolio and doing that really aggressively, because I love property and I believe in the power of it, and I believe in the low risk element to it, and in the long run, the high reward of it. So that's really cool. And it builds your wealth for your family as well. A lot of people come up to us wanting to build wealth, not just for themselves, but for their parents' pension pot and their kids' generational wealth, so they can pass it down to their children as well. So really, really great, low risk, long-term investment. And it's exactly why I'm building it for myself as well. So I think the best way to start on this in reality is to give you an example of what we've got going on for one client in particular. So this client lives in Cornwall, great guy. So obviously that's southwest of England for anyone who's not from the UK, and right down south, by the way, complete as south as you go. And he's got about 150k there, let's say for the conversation. It's around about that. And he's going to have 200k later on. So what he's doing with the 150k is he's doing a BR project with us, where he's buying a rundown property throughout in South Wales with us, and he's basically carrying out renovation and then doing a refinance on the back end. So he's doing the BR method through us. We do the work. We've found the property. We're doing a refurb for him, and we can sort the refinance out for him as well. So then he can refinance at a new increased value, recycle his funds, and then continue to build. So the plan is with him, he's got his portfolio building over here, which we're doing for him. We're doing with our power team, our builders, solicitors, brokers, and agents, letting agents. We're doing all that for him in South Wales. The portfolio is just in South Wales. Alongside that, the plan is to work with him as an angel with us. So when he gets the increased capital later on, I believe about 200 grand, for example, the plan is with him is to continue building his portfolio alongside, to recycle his cash and build that long-term wealth, but also to work with him as an angel to help us build our portfolio to make sure that he can get strong returns on the back end. So he's got his wealth building over here, and then he's got his short-term fixed solid interest rates coming over here with us. So we can give him between 8 to 10%, for example, and it gives a strong return on the capital to further increase his capital over a 3 to 5 year period. So then he can use the BR method again to rinse and repeat. Because if you're using a BR method, every project you're losing like 10, 15 grand, for example, because obviously the refinance is the money left into the deal. But over here, if you've got, for example, 100k, but then you angel with us, which is what he's going to do, then you can literally use that method to actually increase that capital to, let's say, 130, 150K, and then rinse and repeat that in 3 to 5 years time. That's the principle and idea behind it. So I hope I explained that quite well. If not, comment below and I can rerun on how this works. But this is a prime example where someone's come up to us with a chunk of money, eventually going to have 350K sat there, and they want to make it work harder for them whilst building the long term. And they're also not looking to rush it, because a lot of people wanting to get into property, want to rush property and become a millionaire overnight, and it's just not realistic. Property is get rich slow. You will get wealthy, you will get rich from it if you've got realistic long-term goals with it. And one thing that we set with every single potential client that comes up to us, first of all, is saying, look, what do you want to get out of it? They give their answer, and we tell them if that's realistic or not in the time frame they're looking to work with it for, if that makes sense. If they got realistic targets or expectations over that time frame, because we like to be honest and transparent in terms of what's actually achievable. So that's the logic with that. So back to the context of the video. So literally, I don't want to stray too far off topic, because I do it quite a lot. I'm a rambler, as you can see. I don't want to go too far off topic with all this. So obviously that's one client we're working with, and it's beautiful. But what I'm looking to do while I'm out here is obviously go to Munich, do some networking there. I was in London last week. I went to some private networking, private members clubs in London and some other networking events. And the idea behind it was to connect with as many business owners as possible, because we work with a lot of business owners, even Grant Cornwall is a business owner, prime example, who don't have the time or don't want the risk of getting into property, don't want to build a portfolio with the risk that can be associated with it typically, but want to do, let's say 3 to 5 year loans with us instead, because they're busy traveling, doing business networking. I talked to someone yesterday, for example, who had an angel who was traveling between the UK and France a lot, and he didn't want the hassle of the paperwork of investing in property. So what he did was angel with them. He gets a great, stronger than the bank return. So if the bank's offering 4%, obviously our typical interest is over double that, and it has very little paperwork involved compared to what the bank does. So a lot of the hassle and stress is gone. So that's beautiful. So that's the way this is working. So doing the fixed loans over that period, and it allows people to actually make their money work harder for them whilst being on the move and not having that stress. And also one of our main goals is to work with people for at least 10 years, minimum 5, but at least 10 years. So building great relationships with everybody that we work with and have a good fit with what we do really allows us to help them best. So that's the way that we like to approach this. So that's cool. Again, hopefully I'm staying on track here. I just want to add at this point as well, for anyone that's new to the channel, I'm 29 years old. I've been in property for 7 years in total, just to clarify, because I look very young and I get this a lot with every new client. 29 years old, actually turning 30 in a month, which is absolutely crazy and a bit scary to be honest with you, but different conversation. I've had a property sourcing company for the past 4 years in total, sorry. So that's been building over time, and hence why we've got the power team that's built. We've helped over 150 people just in the past 18 months alone get wealthy through property, whether building a portfolio or angeling with us. We've raised over 200 grand in that time period as well to work on our own portfolio. So doing commercial purchases, doing HMO purchases, doing bigger projects. But just to clarify, one of our main focal points and focuses right now is building our single let portfolio, because I'm a big fan of the low risk element to it and of just fully helping people, but also building our own portfolio alongside it and really making sure that we've got a diverse portfolio alongside what we do, and we're working with as many good people as possible along the way. So that's really cool. Now, I've got to be a bit careful with this little bit now, but I just want to give a bit of clarity on the sort of people we work with. So for example, one of our clients had it's got 150K going to 300K. Another client of ours had 200K that he recently invested. We typically work with people who have got a minimum of 100K to work with, but we have quite a few clients, to be fair, especially right now, who have got 60K and work in that ballpark. Like we got a new angel onboarded who's wanting to work with us on a 3-year loan, and he's got 65K he's ready to invest. That's fantastic. And the idea with him, for example, is he lives in South Wales, but he's kind of new to property, doesn't really know much about it. So the idea with him, for example, he's got 65k in the bank. We give him a 10% per annum return over a 3-year period. He'll get most of that money back after 2 years. I believe about 90% of that money after 2 years. And then plus his interest, of course, with the idea of increasing that pot to about 95k or close to, so then he can do a BR method with a single let with that capital, with the 95k. So we're working with him to increase his capital. We can build our portfolio alongside it, and then we can start building his portfolio effectively with pure cash. Yeah, so I hope that gives a bit of context on that. So that's really cool. I also want to add, hopefully this isn't too random and all this topic stuff, but I want to add on this as well, with a lot of people come up to us for about 60k. They want to get into property, they've got 60k available and they want to see how that can work. We're actually breaking down the requirements to work with us in terms of like how we can really help people best, because we've done a lot of projects where people have got 60k, they use bridging finance to do a BRR method project, and they use the bridging finance to build their portfolio, which is great. But we're actually chopping it off at the moment, and we're looking to work with people who have 100k or more to build their portfolio. If you've got 60k, between 60k and 100k, we tend to just do angel finance with said person. So prime example of this angel, they have 65k, they didn't want to build a portfolio with bridging finance, which fits perfectly into what we do. They just wanted the angel with us to increase their capital, and it puts them in a better position in 3 years' time, because they actually have the increased capital. There's no bridging fees, there's no lender fees apart from when you go with a mortgage on the back end, but they're significantly saving the money that they're spending on the project, and then also have the money accumulate, because on the back end of doing that first project in 3 years' time, they're still going to end up with 85k, so they've still got even more money than started with. So it gives the greatest return on investment, and it allows us to kind of build our stuff alongside it, right? So hopefully this made some sense. Excuse the ramble, but yeah, the main point of this video is we're doing this from anywhere. A lot of the stuff that we do, in fact 90% of what I do, can be done from a phone, laptop, WhatsApp, email. Again, I've got a trusted power team, almost a power team, builders, solicitors, brokers that I talk to almost every day in South Wales. And again, we talk literally every day, where we can keep communication really open and clean. We've got the systems set in place to allow people to kind of work with us really efficiently. And we know the criteria that we can work with. So we're looking to work with as many people as possible to do this. So if it's of interest to you, reach out to us. I'll put a link to booking a call with us in the comment section, and we have social media as well: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn. So be sure to follow us, and I'll put that in the description as well in the video. But yeah, the main thing of this is the fact that I can do this while traveling. I'll be back in London at the start of November anyway. We're just on the verge, it's currently mid-October now, we're on the verge of getting our first single let of this new project started now. So with that 65k we've raised, that's going to actually turn to 90k raised for a second angel that we've actually connected with, to get our first project underway. Yeah, so hopefully this made sense. Again, I don't ramble like hell for all this, but it's just kind of given a lot of context in terms of what we're doing, why we're doing it, and also why we can work with people from anywhere, literally. The beauty is, with building a portfolio in South Wales, it can restrict you a little bit sometimes in terms of lending, in terms of all those elements. But when working with us as an angel, it's, yes, you got to do proof of funds and all this kind of stuff to prove that the money isn't fraudulent or used for money laundering, for example. But once you've got that cleared, you can still get a strong 8 to 10% return on your money, which is what a lot of our clients have done, and build it from there, right? So you can actually have no risk of buying a property, or look to do that in the future maybe, have your money working harder for you, and also do it from anywhere, because you're not having lender requirements, because the lender's lending us, to build our portfolio. So it's just a case of making sure the funds come from a legit source at the start. So it just allows a way of people making money from anywhere in a literally a no risk category, because we give personal guarantees on the loan as well. First charges can be discussed, but personally personal guarantees are the main go-to. So you have complete no risk security, full security on every loan as well. So yeah, that's the bread and butter of it, and it's exactly what we've been working with people on for the past 12 months plus, and we've really enjoyed it. So yeah, be sure to book in a call with us if you want to start building a portfolio, or more importantly, build your capital up, because building capital can be really, really lucrative. And yeah, we'll go from there. Ideally, we're looking to work with people who kind of like, a lot of our clients typically have 100k plus, and that's a bit of a go-to, but we've also had clients, like I said, who've had 60k or run about that benchmark, sorry, and still look to invest with us. And like I said, we've got quite a few projects to go. We've got a few in legals that are completing soon. We've got one that agreed yesterday. We've currently got about 23 projects in legals right now for clients to build their portfolios. We've got our build team that's taking on about 21 projects right now. So we've got 3 build teams that we work with to really build that up. We've got 3 solicitors we're working with. We got 2 brokers I consistently work with as well, or 3 brokers technically, 1 bridging and 2 for buy-to-lets. So we've got a strong team there that's really built. And the fact is, I can do all this from my phone, so it really helps. But yeah, hope this made sense, guys. Really looking to connect with as many people as possible. And if you need anything explaining, comment below and I can make another video on it. And I also do a lot of short form content on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn and TikTok. So TikTok not so much, but still post on there. So if you need anything explaining, I can make a video on it. If you want anything broken down, because one thing that I make a lot of mistakes on is I talk from my perspective, whereas I need to simplify it sometimes. So if there's anything you want simplified in terms of, well, simplified breakdown of something, let me know. I'm here to help you guys as well. I've been in property for 7+ years. Even though I look young, there's a lot of experience that I've kind of grown with. And I'm on my 4th mentor now, and the amount you learn from them has been absolutely crazy. So yeah, I'm a bookworm as well. Absolutely love reading. So the knowledge has been a forefront for me through learning through mistakes as much as anything, because we've made every mistake in the book as well. So I hope this made sense, and a bit of a long video, bit of a ramble. If anyone's still listening at this stage, hats off to you. But yeah, be sure to reach out if you're looking to get into property and start making money from property. We've got quite a lot of open space to book calls in. So what you can do is check, go to our website. You can check in the availability. You can also check the link in the description. Check the availability to book in a call and get one booked in ASAP. Even if you're looking to get into property but you're not sure what to do, how to do it, which is very, very common, definitely book in the call. Because if you're looking to get into property but don't know how to, you don't even know where to start, that's even more imperative, because then we can actually direct you. The idea isn't to put you on a path that's like benefiting us. The idea is to help you, because by helping more people with our service, we're literally helping us help you, if that makes sense. So it's like giving you a full breakdown, even if you're lost, confused, not too sure, is exactly what we do. And there's no pressure with it on the call. It's purely a case of saying, okay, what's your full picture situation? Let's see kind of step by step what makes sense for you.